Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Awesome. I see the greenery going across the screen. So that must mean that you can hear me. Hello, I'm Roz. Welcome to, I don't know what to call this. It's not Rambling Roz, but this has to do with um, weight loss and, and weight loss surgery. So if you are thinking about having it or you have had it, um, then you may want to subscribe and well, you may want to watch this video. If not, um, go ahead and you can go ahead and click off. Maybe this does not apply to you. So, but feel free to subscribe to my channel because I have other content that is on here. Like I have the Rosla's Bling Show where I sell beautiful, affordable jewelry. And I have Ramblin' Roz where I just talk about anything and everything. Most of the time, I do talk a lot about the Bible on Ramblin' Roz and current events, what's going on the news, um, what is the big story. Oh, excuse me, going around YouTube on celebrities and different things like that. I don't really want to call it gossip, but everything is alleged. So this channel today. So I am 11 years post Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, and I have some things that I um, want to talk about today. So why don't you go ahead and set up your notifications so that you'll know whenever I am live. Oh, yeah. I literally was not yawning until I got on here. Oh my Lord, am I boring myself? Anyway, so I wanted to. So first of all, I want to start off by saying that when I first had you can go back and watch some of my other videos to see my journey, um, post pre-op and post gastric bypass, and kind of watch some of my videos as I uh, started going down, losing weight and everything, just kind of the process and everything. And then it leads up to today, where I'm 11 years post op as of March 1st, 2023. And I have gained almost all my weight back that I lost um, post op, post operative, post op weight. I have gained almost all of that weight back. I'm probably within 10 pounds of being all the way back up. And I realize now, and of course, I'm super depressed. I'm super embarrassed and ashamed. I'm super frustrated about it and desperate. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? But I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I refuse to gain those 10 pounds that will get me all the way back to where I started. Okay. This music is making me sleepy. It's so relaxing. Let me sip on some water, y'all. All right. So I will tell you some mistakes that I made, some things that I didn't know, but I wish I had asked. and some things that I feel like are needed that are not made available to you post-op. So, um, whew. So, and trust me, I did not just now 10 pounds away from almost being all the way back to my post-op starting weight to decide to reach out for help or try to do something about it. I've been trying to do something about it ever since I first started. As soon as I tipped the scale at 200 again, I started getting desperate. I started, trying to go to the bariatric support group. And um, if you have gained some weight, a lot of your weight back, it's it's a it's reassuring to know that you're not alone. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be. I know that's easier to say. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't walk into those bariatric group meetings feeling with your head hung down, like you're going to be you have something to be ashamed of. Everybody there at the support group is there for support, okay? And everybody, you have some people who are doing great, some people who are doing not so great. I've been in meetings where some women have started having addictions, like drug addictions and different things, and alcohol addictions, so and it's pretty common actually for people to uh, start gaining weight. First of all, the first year is like the honeymoon stage. The weight is just at first it might be a little sluggish coming off, and you say, "Where's the weight loss? I thought it was going to be faster," and then you start losing, and then you hit a plateau where you're not losing again, and you're like, "Oh, is that it? Is that as far as I'm going to get?" Oh no, no, no! I know I didn't just have half my stomach cut off um, to just lose 20 pounds, let's say. And then you get through that whining and crying and complaining to your doctor, and then you then you get off the plateau and you continue to drop. And next thing you know, you don't know where the time went. All you know is you were enjoying your new size, your abilities to walk up and down the stairs without huffing and puffing, being able to go to the gym, being able to fit in smaller clothing and be astonished about how you look. And then other people are like, "Oh wow, you look great, you've lost a lot of weight." So you're getting all this attention that maybe you weren't getting before, including male attention. So then you start really feeling good about yourself. And then and you follow up with the doctor weighs you, they take a before and after photos. "Oh, you look so great, look how much weight you lost," and you do your labs and whatever the doctor wants to do the first year. After that first year and you are stable, you're not having any urgent issue going on that requires you to go back in for surgery, or you need intense medical um, intervention. After you get to that 12-month mark, you won't be seeing your doctor no more. I thought that my doctor was going to follow me for my entire life. Okay. That was the impression I had, is that which in a way it's true, but it's not one-on-one. After your 12 months have ended, all you're going to be hearing from your doctor is go once a year and go get your labs done. And that's it. And also, and so then when I started, after that first year, also your stomach, you're able to eat more and more food. Your appetites start coming back. Your cravings start coming back. Some come back. For some people, their cravings come back before the year is up. But for me, my appetite came back after that first year. All of a sudden, I'm start craving things, and started putting um, crystal light sweeteners in my water because the water hurt my stomach. And I had to get off of that. I had to get off of that. That opened the door to my sugar cravings starting all over again. Even though it was artificial sugar, it doesn't matter. If you have a craving for something sweet, doesn't matter if it's fruit, if it's artificial sugar, or sugar. I'm talking about even honey, okay? You cannot have it. You cannot have it. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? I am not a doctor. I don't have any medical background in nutrition and gastric bypass, okay? But what I do have is the experience of being a patient post-op, okay, and a sugar addict. And so that opened the door, putting those little packets in my water. Eventually, um, I started grabbing everything in sight that was sweet. Oh, they tell you that you can't have candy, you can't have this, like cookies, you can't have. No, you shouldn't have. There's a difference. You shouldn't have. But there's nothing stopping me from eating candy and ice cream and whatever in the world I want to eat. I thought that because I literally remember the the day before my surgery, I felt like this is like my last supper. This is my last chance to get it off my chest because after the surgery, I'll never be able to eat a Reese cup, a Snicker bar, a Three Musketeers, a Almond Joy, a cupcake. I'm thinking that I physically would not be able to do it. But at least I was able to do it, and I ate it. I ate some candy or I ate something sweet that they said that you cannot eat. And I'm like, ooh, all of a sudden those good memories and those good feelings came through that you feel when you eating some sweets, at least if you're a sugar addict. It's like somebody on drugs. You have that drink or you um, do that line of Coke or whatever it is. Not that I've ever experienced that. Uh, you start feeling like, oh, I miss this feeling. I've gone a whole year without this. And so do I get to keep that good feeling and still keep the small frame? No. Eventually, if you keep doing that, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be back where you started from, trying to eat everything in sight. And then that starts the yo-yo dieting, which was the very reason I had the surgery in the first place, is because I have yo-yo dieted ever since I had my first child. Okay. And all yo-yo dieting does is make you fatter, because you know how it is. You're eating the food that's making you gain weight, and then you get on that scale, and that scale is your reality check of how much weight you have gained. And you feel ashamed and you beat yourself up for eating the forbidden foods that you should not eat. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet. So then you try some weird diet, Slim Fast, tried it all. Jenny Craig tried that too. The lemonade diet, the that was popular because Beyonce did it, tried that. The the Bohemian powder drink from I can't think of his name. Tried that though. Um Laxatives, tried that. Water fast, tried that. Vegetarian, tried that. Okay. And then when you give in to your craving, you're doing good for maybe the first day, or you can't even get started. Like the first day, the fact that you're telling yourself I cannot have French fries, I cannot have cookies, I cannot have chips, I cannot have all my favorite snacks that I like to eat and depend on every day for my sanity. Can't have that. But what happens is it makes it more desirable. There is this powerful pull. It's almost like some force drawing you in. And you go to the store, you're looking around, there's the candy bar smiling at you. Or you can smell stuff, anyway. And then you say, okay, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow doesn't come. And then you look at the scale. This is one thing I've done. I've gotten out a calendar or a notebook and planned out, okay, I'm going to go on this type of diet. And so by this date, I estimate that I will weigh this amount. And then by this date, I should weigh this amount. And then by this date, I should weigh this amount. But you have to keep changing the date because you can't get started or you can't stay on track long enough to even get there. And what does that lead to? Making you feel ashamed, making you feel out of control, like a failure, and everything else, okay? It's like a yo-yo. Or it's more like going in circles, just like it's like a circle. And like you lose the weight, but you best believe eventually when you go back to eating the way you did, you're gonna be back around to having to go on some diet and lose the weight again. And each time you do that, especially when I would fast and drink just water for 2 weeks, I'd be like, ooh, yeah. The first 3 days are the hardest days to get through. After the first 3 days, then it starts getting easier. But then, at about the 14th day, you're so tired, you feel so weak. And then and you give in, you can't sustain it long term. You might drop 20 pounds or 15 pounds, which most of that is probably water weight. and your body is holding on to fat. It ain't letting it go. It's like your body goes into starvation mode. It's like, oops, we got to hold on to all our fat because all she's drinking is water. And then on top of potentially making yourself very sick and putting a lot of stress on your heart, okay? Not emotionally and physically. That is just not it. So then what you end up doing is going back to eating because you've been starving for 2 weeks. And then once you go back to eating, man, it's like you make up for all the 2 weeks you were not eating. And what happens? The weight that you did lose, which a lot of it is water weight, you gain all that 20 pounds back and plus extra. And it's a vicious cycle. So you're still trying to, so then next thing you know, you're going up, up, up. Each time you try to go down, you're coming up higher and higher each time. It is torture. Can I get an amen to all you men and women out there who know what I'm talking about? All right. So it is torture. And the bad thing about it is like, I'm sure you've already heard that sugar addiction or addiction is not like alcohol, where you can live without it and you can absolutely not take another drink if you get the help you need to stop that. But food, you have to put food in your mouth eventually. Your body depends on it. Some people are addicted to food, period. It doesn't matter what kind of food. Like I've seen like people 600 pounds, or you ever seen reality show, that reality show called My 1,000 Pound Life? And there are these people who can't even get out of bed, and they have to have their significant other or family members wash them, and they're in pain and they can't walk, and they just can't lose the weight because they're addicted. Their body fights against them. Their body wants it because it's used to having it. And I'm talking about a whole spread, like about 10 hamburgers and maybe 6 fries. Now, I have never been able to eat like that. My main issue, um, it used to be eating a lot of fast food, okay? But my biggest issue is not food per se, it's the junk food, it's the snacks, it's the cookies, the chips, and the candies, okay? So I feel like I'm not food mature. For some reason, I feel so immature about still liking candy, to the point where I binge on candy. I can binge on cookies. I can binge on potato chips. I love that combination of sweet and salty, you know. So, um, it's just a vicious cycle. So, do not think that after the surgery, after you lose all your weight, after that first year when you lose all your weight and the doctor is following you closely, and it's there and you can see them face to face and it's more of a one-on-one personal relationship, that if you put a candy bar in your mouth, that you're not going to be able to eat it. For most people, yes, you can. Now, certain things you may have the dumping um, reaction. Even I get that. But does it stop me from eating junk food? Nope. I just switch to a different junk food. I can't eat certain brands of ice cream, but that don't stop me from going over to Baskin Robbins eating their ice cream. That don't stop me from going into the grocery store and buying some Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I when you're addicted, you find a way. And sometimes you don't care about the consequences. You're like, hey, it tasted good and I enjoyed it, but I'm about to be on the toilet in a minute. you know, it's like a sickness. It's a disease. Well, it is a sickness. It's a disease. And the bad thing about it is most unless the doctor is a weight loss specialist, your primary care physician, they're not going to understand that. Most of them don't treat your eating like it's a disease or like it's a sickness. They treat you like you're just a greedy pig and that is your fault, and that you can stop it with willpower and discipline and count your calories, weigh and measure, go to the gym and exercise. I'm not saying those things are bad. That's not what I'm saying. When you have a problem, from my personal experience, that did not help me. I did have a gym membership. I was going to the gym. I still have a gym membership. And I was going up until I got sick in March, and they still don't know what's wrong with me. I'm waiting till June for them to do an endoscopy. Okay? So I I have not been well since March. I have not been myself. So I have not been to the gym. I can barely walk up and down my stairs because I'm having pains in my pelvic and my hip, this and that. And I've had MRI, CT scans, X-rays, you name it, all these blood tests and stool samples. Okay. And we're still trying to figure out what's wrong with me. All right. So I don't even know if it's related to the gastric bypass or not, but I sometimes, when you've been yo-yo dieting for so many years, at some point, your body gets tired of all this. Here we go again. Then you start having health problems, gallstones, um, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, um, fatty liver, pancreatitis, like all those things can happen. Then your joints in your body start hurting. You start having arthritis and aches and pains, and it's like being overweight is not only emotionally painful, it is physically painful. It is like a slow death. And but I am not going to take this lying down. I urge you, if you are struggling like I am, do not give up. I am going to keep trying till the day until the day I die. Okay? So which I hope is not no time soon. So when I saw that I could eat this and I could eat that and I could eat this and that, then next thing they're telling you that the pouch is going to be like the size. If you had Roux your pouch is going to be the size of an egg, like about the size of an egg. So you won't be able to eat that much. That's true the first year, but as time goes on, I tell you like this: I can eat a whole In-N-Out burger. I can't now. I still eat less than what I normally do. I'm not really able to eat a whole thing of French fries and a burger. I can't do both. It just depends. So I still don't finish. Still not able to eat all of my food, and I'm thankful for that because I'd probably be bigger than I am right now. So there are some benefits to having that surgery, even though over time I have slowly, over the 11 years, started gaining all my weight back. Um, it seems like it takes a lot slow. It's a lot longer to get there. Versus in the past, I didn't have nothing stopping me. I could gain 300 pounds in less than a year. Okay. But now, and I thank God I'm not near 300 pounds at this point. Never want to see that number again. So that's one thing. So when they tell you you can't eat this, you can't eat that, it just means that you're not supposed to eat it. You're not supposed to eat this. You're not supposed to eat that. Okay? So if you want to lie to yourself and say, I can't have that, if that works for you, child, use it. Okay. So my suggestion to you is just keep, okay, I made some notes, some suggestions for myself and to you guys. There's some things now that I wish I had done differently. I'm not blaming anybody as far as my doctors or anyone. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that there's some things that I wish I had done different. And the doctors don't know everything. A lot of the doctors haven't even had the surgery themselves, so they don't know what it's like to really be the patient. Most of their knowledge is research and reading and studies. But unless you are personally experiencing this, I can't say the word, you're not going to truly understand what can happen and why. So, so I urge you, I'm not talking you out of having this surgery. Do I regret having this surgery? No, I do not. I do not regret it. I would still have that surgery. If I could go back in time, I would still have had the surgery. Okay. Definitely would. Because it does help you somewhat. But the rest of it, after that year, you're going to be having to maintain the weight that you lost. That's where the hard work comes in. The first year is easy because, first of all, it's very limited what you can eat. There's like stages of when you can eat liquids and then solids, and those go for weeks. It's easy to lose weight during that time. And then you're recovering and you may be sore, so you're probably not going to feel like getting up and going to McDonald's in the middle of the day. And then your stomach is probably very tight. If it's small like an egg, it's probably a solid size that's not stretchable yet. But after that year, yeah, for some people it's a year and a half, whatever. So keep in mind that don't think that you cannot gain weight. It can happen to anybody. So and don't compare yourself to other people. One of my best friends had the surgery, and a coworker had a surgery. They both had it before me. One is dead because she turned to alcohol addiction, which is tragic. One was super skinny. When I was gaining my weight back, she was still super skinny. Only thing is, it seemed like she didn't really have a lot of energy a lot of times. But she was super thin. So I witnessed two extremes. I have other friends also that I know. I haven't even I don't even know how they're doing actually. I lost touch with them. But so this whole thing is on the individual basis. There's some things that are that are common, that we would have in common, and some things that is just based on your own personal experience. So I'm sharing my personal experience, okay? And my experience is my experience. It's not a matter for somebody to agree or disagree. I wear this body every day. So I know what I'm experiencing. So there's some things that I wish I had done. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention. Not only do you no longer physically see the doctor anymore, but you're just going every year to repeat your labs every year and that's it. If you reach out for help and tell the doctor, I say, I need to get in touch with the doctor. It's like you have to go through the receptionist or medical assistant that answers the phone. You most the most of the time you cannot even access the doctor anymore. You can't get an appointment with the doctor unless you're having a medical issue going on, like maybe you have, I don't know, something wrong with your pouch or a blockage or something. Other than that, they don't want to see you. If you start telling them, I'm gaining weight, I think my pouch is stretched out, I think I need to get a different surgery now, a revision, first of all, they are not going to do a revision. They say that that's not possible. And they're not going to tell you that. The one answering the phone is going to tell you that we don't do revisions. You might hear on the internet people talking about they getting revision surgeries and stuff like that. First of all, my understanding is those are super dangerous. And sometimes they don't turn out well. So, so saying that you want a revision surgery or you want to switch to a sleeve or something like that, first of all, they are not going to do that. They're going to tell you, no, that cannot be done. You'd be like, well, I'm out of control, this and that. I need an appetite suppressant. They don't want to prescribe you an appetite suppressant either. You know what they're going to, and then you tell them I'm depressed, I'm distressed, I feel like, I'm going to, I've started drinking alcohol, and this and that and the other. You know what they're going to do? They're going to refer you to the nutritionist. Yes, really. They're going to end up, before you can even talk to the doctor, first of all, the first thing they're going to make you do is meet with the nutritionist. And that was frustrating because I didn't want to talk to the nutritionist. I wanted to talk to the doctor. So, okay. So I talked with the nutritionist. And before the appointment, they want you to do a food diary of everything you've been eating and drinking. And then they pick out, nope, you shouldn't be eating that. Nope, you shouldn't be eating this. Or you need to add this. You need to do this. Take that bun off the bread. Separate your meat from your carb. That kind of stuff. Eat your protein first. One thing I learned is about not combining your protein with your carb. Like having a taco salad, you would think that that's heavy. I mean, you would think that that's healthy. But I was told no. If you want a chicken salad, put the chicken on the side and eat that by itself, which is a good strategy for helping you get full faster so that you will eat less. So I guess that's the same thing for spaghetti. I love spaghetti. I'm thinking, hey, as long as I'm eating ground turkey meat and whole grain spaghetti noodles, I'm good. Really shouldn't be combining it like that. Is really your meat supposed to be separate? What really should be on your plate is a slab of meat and some vegetables. And you eat the meat first. And we have no business snacking through the day. It should be 3 simple meals a day. Okay. And as far as the water, I had to get off of that Crystal Light. And the only way that I could is I had to, first of all, I had to try different bottled waters, the different pH balance, depending on the type of water it is. Either it would hurt my stomach or it would work good with my stomach. There's, what is that water called? Oh, by the way, those vitamin waters, I was drinking those too. They have so much sugar or sweetness in it. But I started drinking, what is that Hawaiian water? Darn it. That, those, the ones where it says alkaline water, whatever, I can tolerate those. But it took me a long time. It took me some hard work to get back to drinking regular plain water. Now I have a water filter and I can drink the water filtered. And also another thing that kind of helps is if you slice up some cucumbers and put it in your water and put it in the fridge and let it get nice. Now, also was mentioned to me is the temperature of the water can also affect how it feels when you drink it. For me, it doesn't make a difference. It could be hot, room temperature, or cold. I can drink it all three ways. It just has to be filtered water or alkaline water, but tap water, I can't. It hurts. It hurts my stomach. So that's just my personal experience. So what you're going to be referred to the nutritionist, and the nutritionist is going to ask you, what are you eating every day? What are you drinking every day? And then she's going to be like, nope, take this out. What kind of vitamin supplements are you taking? I found out that I was taking the wrong vitamin supplements. They said that you're not supposed to be taking gummy vitamins. The vitamins that I was told to take is Centrum Adult. So Centrum Adult is all I take, and you take it twice a day. So I take mine in the morning and I take it before I go to bed at night. All right. And you're supposed to take calcium also. I was good at doing the calcium, but then I kind of fell off of that. I need to start back. I'm not good about taking my calcium or the vitamin B12 or the magnesium. It's just too many different pills for me to take, and I'm too lazy to do it. But one thing for sure, I do take my Centrum Adult vitamin twice a day. And so far, my labs have been excellent as far as that. I need to add vitamin D, but that's something else I need to add. And I also take vitamin C, mostly because I like to try my best to build up immunity from colds and flus and COVID. So, um, dang, I lost my thought, y'all. So yeah, so I take my vitamins faithfully twice a day. That's not a problem for me. Um, and so after she, and then after she got through telling me what I should eat and should not be eating, and telling me what to do, write down everything you eat and get a scale, measure it. It's like, okay, all right. I tried it her way. And they also offer bariatric support groups. They have the pre-op groups for people who are contemplating having surgery, and then the pre-op post-op or people who have a surgery date and those who have already had the surgery, however far out it's been since you had it. and I hear horror stories in there, but also hear about a pouch reset where you're supposed to, I forget. I tried it though. As you can see, didn't work. So, so it seems like I have to go cold turkey, super, super strict. Um, so that's why I'm trying the chicken bone broth fast, and online it said that it takes about a month to get rid of your sugar cravings. So hey, I'm gonna try to do this for a month or more. But I am scheduled to, well, not scheduled yet, but I told them, okay, yes, I'm willing to um, talk with a nutritionist again because I don't want to harm myself. So I'm going to mention to her my idea about this bone broth diet, and I mean bone broth, nothing else, nothing else. I'm not even drinking coffee. I'm only drinking water and bone broth. Now I might season my bone broth, and I'm trying to make some bone broth right now, and I'll let you know the recipe that I'm following. So don't know if it's good or not, but it had 5 stars on online. So, and I've only 2 days. This is only the second day of me doing chicken bone broth only. Oh, the first day, it wasn't bad. Long as I tell you like this, the bone broth. I don't know if it's just the brand I bought. It's super bitter tasting, and it was bitter tasting. So my husband had bought some chicken bouillon cubes. So I put a cube in there and stirred it up and let it melt. And then I could tolerate it. It tasted a whole lot better. I was like, ooh, this is good. Especially if you put a little cayenne pepper in there. Yes. I even add a little turmeric because I know turmeric is very good for you for inflammation, and it's an anti-inflammatory, different things like that. So um, just make sure the water is hot and that you gradually put it in and stir it. Otherwise, it's going to be clumpy. So, um, so I got through the first day drinking my bone broth. Um, well, I gotta say, then before I went to bed last night, I had like, whoa, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, so I went to the bathroom, and after I was done doing my bathroom, um, I got up and I was like, ooh, I had I had a little diarrhea, and I was like, oh no, is my body rejecting this? But after I went to the bathroom only one time, I had one bowel movement. It was diarrhea, but then my stomach just felt so empty inside in a good way. I was like, I felt kind of cleaned out some. And then I went to bed and I had a very restful sleep. I didn't cheat at all. I didn't get up and eat any food, anything like that. I also let my family know what I'm doing so that they know don't bring me no candy and stuff like that. And so this is day 2 of me drinking the bone broth. And one thing you have to be careful of is those bouillon cubes have a lot of sodium in them. And I started feeling kind of sick this afternoon after like about my third cup of the broth. I started feeling a little sick, and I was like, dang, maybe I need to drink some water. So, and then I felt better. So make sure you are drinking plenty water, because those bouillon cubes, it's like concentrated salt. And if you're going to be only drinking bone broth all day and adding bouillon cubes to that broth so you can tolerate drinking it, I urge you to dilute your broth with some water, and definitely make sure you are drinking plenty of water. Now, the bone broth, if you buy it in the store, if you're buying quality bone broth, it can get kind of pricey if that's all you're going to be eating, especially if you're planning on doing this for like 21 days. They say you lose 15 pounds every 21 days of this. I got to stretch my leg out. But so make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Oh, I know what I was saying. So if you're going in the store and you're buying it, like I bought three, you ever seen what chicken broths come in? I don't know how many ounces is in it, but I bought 3 of them and they were $3.99 each. I only was able to drink 2. I couldn't tolerate drinking 3. So one has 160 calories. Wrong finger. Anyway, I'm getting hot. One of them has 160 calories. Okay. I was like, dang, I got to get more calories in. I was only able to get 2 down. And it's not because it was nasty or anything, is that I just felt like I wasn't hungry all day. So it does feel, it's better than drinking water on a water fast or a clear liquid diet fast like that. You feel like you don't feel so deprived, long as you stay out the kitchen. And so I ended up only drinking 2 of them. So that's like 160 plus 160. So today I drank the one I had left, and I was going online trying to look at, like, dang, is there another brand that maybe tastes better? So I don't have to add bouillon cubes. But you know what I'm finding? There are some different kinds that are recommended. I only tried one kind, and it was organic. Okay. So now I decided, I'm like, you know what? That's going to be very expensive for me to be buying bone broth every day. So you come out a lot better if you make it yourself. Go online, look for a recipe, and make your own bone broth, okay? Because you can make as much of it as you want, and you can even freeze some of it. I'm not sure how long it stays as far as in the refrigerator, how long you can keep it in there. I haven't looked that up yet, but I know you can freeze it. And if you make it yourself, for one thing, you have to boil those chicken bones for a long time. Now, I didn't just boil the bones. I boiled chicken thighs with the meat and all. Oh, shoot. I didn't think about that, y'all. Well, you're supposed to strain it. But I boiled the chicken, bones and all. So, and the thing about making it yourself is you save a ton of money and you know exactly what's in it because you're the one making it. You just have to pretty much boil it until the bone is just, you know, falls apart, like disintegrates. Okay. And and I think that they named the best parts of the bird to um, extract those nutrients from that you need for this bone broth. And chicken breast was not one of them. Chicken breast, the I forget why they said use the chicken, the necks, the wings, the legs. Um, I boiled the thighs because that's all I had. I'm assuming leg, thigh. I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. Anyway, work with what you got to start out. So, but it takes a long time. Some recipes say boil it for about 2 days. I'm like, oh, how in the world can you leave food boiling or cooking on your stove for 2 days? I don't want to leave that on there cooking while I'm asleep. Or if I leave the house, don't do that, people. Do not leave your house with that chicken boiling or those bones boiling. You do not want to risk burning down your house, okay, or your apartment. I would not do that. I would, if I have to leave, I'd rather just turn it off and then when I get back, turn it back on and pump up the AC because it is hot right now. So let me see, was there something else I wanted to tell you? Oh yeah, let me go to my notes now. If you have any comments or questions, please make your comments and your questions. I'm be very curious to hear your ideas, your experience, your questions. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you what worked and didn't work for me. So I have on here the bariatric surgeon, they will see you and follow up with you the first post-op year. Then after that, you're only getting your labs done. And there's no revisions, no appetite suppressants. You'll only be referred to a nutritionist and a bariatric support group. And I have on there that you can gain all your weight back. If you like junk food, do not eat it ever, ever. Divorce yourself. An alcoholic can't take a little nip. So don't underestimate the power of sugar cravings or addictions. So over time, you can eat more and more larger portions. It pretty much gets the weight. So the first year is like it. The first year, you pretty much easily get the weight off. But the hard part is maintaining that. Okay. So I'm thinking what I wish I had done was, first of all, not added sweetener to my water, not try any of those sugary flavored protein drinks and protein shakes. I would recommend that you start out with a very like a robot diet, y'all. You pretty much almost have to be a robot and not eat food for enjoyment, but you're eating to live. You're not living to eat anymore. You shouldn't be. That's the mindset you have almost got to have. Like you're just eating because you have to stay alive. So it's better to just have, what I mean by robot, I mean by have a set time, set an alarm or whatever you got to do. Bring your food with you on the road or whatever, but have yourself a set time that you are going to eat every day. And make your meals simple, very simple. Okay. You can have some varieties because you may not want to eat the same breakfast every day. So make up, a menu for yourself, listing different versions of breakfast that you can have, different versions of lunch, different versions of dinner. Even if you have to cook for your family, you may have to do something a little different for yourself. Okay? Especially if they're not on board to eat, the way you do. Keep your meals simple. And you're going to have to find joy in doing things that you couldn't do when you were fat. Getting out there exercising, bike riding, running, setting different types of goals that have to do with being active. Okay. I wrote this, but this is kind of controversial. I don't even think I believe this. I wrote down here, I must have wrote this down when I was like being irrational. I wrote that I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be a broke shopaholic than be big again. But that's not rational thinking. And so it is true that, well, it is possible that if you had a food addiction and you're no longer to use food to comfort you, then your addiction can transfer to something else. So for some, it's alcohol. Don't even drink it. Don't drink alcohol at all. And look, that first year, I don't think you really can without getting sick. So you need to train your mind for forever eating and drinking. And that means you can't compromise and one day drink a little alcohol or one day eat a little candy bar. Some people say, well, that's freedom. Everything in moderation. Well, who's the moderator? I'm not. I can't eat candy in moderation because I like it too much. That's like an alcoholic drinking alcohol in moderation. You can't drink alcohol in moderation if you're an alcoholic. What? Half a shot? No, you can't do that. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, the part where I said I'd rather take on a habit of shopping than to be binge eating again. I mean, somewhere here I said how I feel. But is that rational? No. Nobody wants to go broke and homeless. That can lead to a whole new set of problems, especially if you have a family. Oh, mama didn't pay the bills today. Oh no, the lights are out. But Mama sure look pretty in that dress. Y'all don't want to do that. I would suggest that you get high on life. Get yourself a bike. Get yourself into a gym. Um, Compete to be a bodybuilder or running marathons and do rock climbing. Like, get out there and enjoy life and be active. Learn a sport. Hey, yeah, learn a sport. Um, Learn dance, ballet. Become a exercise instructor. Something. Start enjoying the things you can do physically instead of the food that you can put in your mouth. Because in the end, you're going to pay for that. All right. So right now, out of desperation and frustration, because I've been venting to the case manager. Which I didn't even know there was a case manager for bariatrics, but I was venting to her about feeling afraid my friend died, and I don't want to end up like her, and I'm getting all my weight back. I'm having health problems. I'm yo-yo dieting again. I don't need to see a nutritionist. It's not that I don't know what I'm supposed to eat. Why am I looking? I'm looking at the numbers on my screen, just saying how long I've been talking instead of looking at the camera. It's not, I don't need a nutritionist to tell me what to eat. That is not my problem. My problem is being addicted to the things I'm not supposed to eat. My problem is self-control. I do not have self-control. So that's why I'm on this. I got this idea, and I did. There we go again. I did a little bit of research on it, and I'm still in the early phase of this. So this has only been like the second day. And I know for one thing that is important is to get that broth tasting the way you can enjoy it without compromising. So you don't, there's no way I'm going to drink that sodium free. Not me. So this is the recipe I'm following. Find yourself a recipe. Or if you got it like that and you would prefer to drink an already made broth, there's all types of brands. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at Walmart. I would say do your research on those brands. They also have the powdered flavor where you can just put the powder packet in your hot water like that. So, and I do plan on exploring everything, okay? All the options. And then the best option is to make it yourself. So let me see, what kind of information did I find? So first I'm going to start off what my idea was. Open up. Is to try the 21-day or 1 month cleanse. It's like I had to, I felt like in my mind, I said, okay, I need to drop everything. Drop the sugar. Do it when you're super motivated. Once you're motivated and you're on track and you can make it through a day without cheating, keep going, y'all. Keep going. Now, I did slip up today because I got to tell you, when I made the chicken, started making it, it's still on the stove. When I started making the chicken broth from home and putting the ingredients in it. I'll show you the recipe. It started smelling good. And I saw that there was like these good old juicy bananas sitting on the top of the counter in my kitchen. And I said, I love bananas. I should be able to have at least one banana. After all, I did good yesterday and I haven't eaten nothing all day today. Child, next thing I know, I was eating that banana. But I call that cheating. I mean, if I only plan to just do chicken broth, yeah, that's cheating. But you know what? It could be a whole lot worse. Because look, I didn't grab no candy, no cookies or anything. I have a cake in my refrigerator from my husband's birthday party, carrot cake. Okay. And every time I open the refrigerator, I got to look at it. But I didn't touch it, y'all. I didn't touch it. I did touch a banana. I touched the heck out of that banana because I ate that thing and it's gone. Okay. So, I'm sorry. That's my phone. I hope that's kind of loud. Okay. It's very. Now, I hope you can hear me. All right. So, started reading a little bit. Let me read it. Let me just read what I wrote. The 21-day bone broth diet. The question was, is it keto? And keto, to my understanding, is when your body is burning fat for fuel. That's where you want to be. You want to be burning up that fat. Okay? Okay, so the bone broth diet is okay, so let me cite my source. This is from perfectketo.com, okay? I'm not endorsing anybody. This is just information that I searched for myself. You can go Google and find the same thing that I'm looking at. And I just go to different websites, absorb what information is useful, and move on, okay? The bone broth diet is a simple intermittent fasting regimen. Now, see, I'm not doing intermittent, but let's see. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go back to adding some foods and just eliminating the snacks. The bone broth diet is a simple and intermittent fasting regimen. It's bone broth 2 days per week, and a paleo diet the other 5 days. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Paleo, I never heard of it. The 21-day bone broth diet is set. Let me put on my glasses so I can make sure I can see. That's what they're for, right? The 21-day bone broth diet is said to help you lose weight. Although there's no scientific evidence supporting this claim, intermittent fasting has been shown to improve body composition and promote weight loss. Drinking bone broth has other benefits too, unrelated to fasting. That's because when you consume more bone broth, you consume more collagen. And there's a lot to like about collagen. Read on to learn about the 21-day bone broth diet. Okay, what is the 21-day bone broth diet? It is a type of intermittent fasting program called 5-to-2. This ratio stands for 5 days of feeding and 2 days of fasting each week. Generally speaking, intermittent fasting is the practice of taking regular breaks from food. These breaks can be implemented daily. A 16-hour daily fast or at longer intervals, the 5-tune bone broth diet. Okay. And by the way, the first thing that the case manager, or the first thing I was told when I mentioned doing the chicken broth diet is, that's not going to work because you can't do that forever. Well, I feel like at the weight that I am right now, I don't see it that way. I see it just like that first year after my surgery. That first year got you where you need to be, as far as weight loss. And then, but you're not going to sustain that for the rest of your life. Eventually, you're going to be able to eat more and more. And so it's still maintenance. It's still maintenance. So I still feel like, hey, right now, I feel like my priority is to get the weight back off and then go back to trying to maintain it. So that's the kind of reset I'm trying to do. I know I'm not going to drink chicken broth forever. I know that. But it's something I could go back to every now and then if I feel like I'm getting out of control again. And what's important is to weigh yourself. I know they say, don't let the scale be your judge. Weigh and measure then. Weigh and measure yourself. I feel like I need to know where I'm at. Because next thing you know, I'll be in denial and I get on that scale, or you're going to have a doctor's appointment eventually. And if you haven't been weighing yourself, but you've been eating crazy, you're going to be surprised. You might fall off of that scale when you see how much you weigh. I don't want to be blindly eating and not watching my weight. I just don't. I don't think that's wise. I only do that when my weight is getting out of control and I see that it's getting out of control and I can't stop it. Then I turn away from the scale and say, forget it. But you don't want to do that. So I just put my batteries in my scale yesterday. So, okay, intermittent fasting, the research shows, may promote a slew of health benefits. The 21-day bone broth fast was popularized by Dr. Kellyanne Petrucci. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, an author and naturopath, as a way to detox your body, lose weight, and heal your gut. While there isn't peer-reviewed data behind these claims, there is some evidence that collagen is crucial for gut health and that intermittent fasting can stimulate weight loss. Okay, here's how the bone broth diet works. 2 days out of the week, you drink 3 to 6 cups of bone broth, about 300 to 500 calories worth in total. And that is it for your fasting days. The other 5 days are your feeding days. On these days, you eat a paleo diet. When you eat paleo, you avoid grains, refined foods, sugar, alcohol, legumes, and sometimes dairy. A good rule of thumb is to shirk. SHIRK. That's what it said. To shirk foods that come in a package. Browse our curated collection of fan favorites and discover your new favorite snack or supplement. Did I have something to it? Okay, this sounds like a really good idea, y'all. And I'm kind of reading this for the first time. We're reading this together. What can you eat on paleo? Plenty. Here's a short list. I think I'm going to say plenty, but here's a short list. Okay. Meat like beef, chicken, pork, and lamb. That would be chicken for me. What about turkey? They didn't say nothing about turkey. Okay. Fish like salmon, tuna, sardines, and cod. Well, what about catfish? Any fruits and vegetables, um, but favor organic and locally grown produce. I gotta think about that one. For me, I gotta think about that one because I don't really want to have that. I don't want that sweetness in my mouth at all, y'all. I gotta get rid of that sweet taste bud. Okay, nuts like almonds, walnuts, cashews, and macadamia nuts, and nut butter. Healthy fats like olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, and unrefined palm oil. Starchy tubers like yams, carrots, and potatoes. Bone broth as much as you like. I think that's pretty doable. But I would skip the yams and the carrots because they have a kind of a sweet taste to them. Oh, yes, y'all, I'm just that bad. My only concern is if once I eliminate the craving for sweetness and sweet tasted things, am I gonna crave salt? And my blood pressure gonna go up? Child, hopefully not. The paleo diet, in fact, is rather similar to a whole foods ketogenic diet. The main difference is that carbs from fruits and tubers are allowed on paleo, but not on keto. Well, I need keto. I need keto all the way. Benefits of the bone broth diet. First of all, no clinical research exists on the bone broth diet. Because of this, the following benefits are a bit speculative. That said, there are three main ways the bone broth diet might improve your health. Number one, eliminating unhealthy processed foods when converting to a paleo or whole food style of eating. Number two, through intermittent fasting. Number three, by boosting your intake of collagen protein, the main protein in bone broth. Wait, isn't bone broth a good source of minerals? Depends how long you cook the bones. One study, for instance, showed that commercially made bone broths cooked under 8 hours yielded negligible levels of calcium and magnesium, but cooking them for longer in a lower pH yielded higher levels of minerals. The lesson here is to cook your bones for 20 to 36 hours or buy your bone broth from a company that does. So how long have I been cooking this? I think I started this bone broth, let's see, what time is it now? 10. So it's only been I would say 5 hours. The lesson here is to cook your bones for 20 to 36 hours. Okay, so in terms of bone broth benefits, minerals are a maybe. Here's the thing. Assuming you were eating healthy to begin with, most benefits from bone broth fasting come from intermittent fasting and collagen. Intermittent fasting on the bone broth diet. In the modern world, food is rarely scarce. If you want a snack, it's not hard to find. It wasn't like this for most of human history. 60,000 years ago, there wasn't a store selling fresh meat and berries. And early homins often went days without eating. Fortunately, the human body is marvelously adapted to fasting. When you stop putting food down your gullet, your cells start burning another fuel source, body fat. And when you burn fat, you produce ketones, little molecules that power your brain and send anti-inflammatory signals all throughout your body. Ketones are a big reason you feel more alert on a fast. Fasting also initiates a powerful clean and recycle program in your cells called autophagy. Autophagy. Autophagy allows your cells to digest old and unused parts and replace them with new ones. This is desirable. Animal studies, in fact, link autophagy to longevity. In humans, impaired autophagy is tied to long lists of diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, and amyloidosis. Amyloidosis. I don't know what that is, y'all. Look it up. It's hard to measure autophagy in humans, but as a general rule, longer fasts will induce more autophagy than shorter ones. Finally, intermittent fasting has been shown in multiple studies to help with both weight loss and fat loss. This may be a case of less calories and less weight gain, but since intermittent fasting also increases insulin sensitivity, there may be a deeper metabolic reason behind the weight loss. To be clear, a bone broth intermittent fast hasn't been tested in the lab, but similar intermittent fast setups have yielded positive results, so it's certainly reasonable to draw the comparison. Collagen from bone broth. Bone broth is high in collagen, the most abundant protein in the human body. Collagen resides in your skin, hair, joints, and even organ tissues. According to research, collagen supplementation has a variety of health benefits. Here are some of the main ones, along with brief descriptions. Skin health. When your skin collagen breaks down, it shows up as wrinkles, fine lines, and other signs of aging. Taking collagen may provide the raw materials to offset this decline. In one controlled study, collagen supplementation improved skin elasticity in 69 women aged 35 to 55. Longevity. Diets rich in meat are rich in methionine and amino acid, which may in excess accelerate aging. In mice, researchers have shown that supplementing with glycine, the main amino acid in collagen, mitigates the effects of methionine and extends lifespans. Joint support. NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, so that would be ibuprofen, are the standard treatment for chronic joint pain, but these medicines have bad side effects. Enter collagen. In one study, collagen supplementation reduced activity-related joint pain in 97 college athletes. Gut health. Collagen protein helps maintain the gut barrier, which breaks down leaky gut in those with chronic gut issues. Clinical trials are lacking, but there's no shortage of anecdotal evidence on bone broth for gut health. Amino acids in bone broth. Recall that glycine, the most abundant amino acid in collagen, was shown to extend lifespan in mice. Driving this effect, researchers believe, was glycine's role in clearing methionine from the body. It's possible, in fact, that glycine is the key to most of the bone broth's benefits. That's because eating glycine may mitigate certain harms of the modern diet. Our ancestors used to eat animals from tip to tail, all that collagen rich connective tissue. Ugh. But now we only eat the lean parts. In other words, we've sacrificed glycine for methionine. We need to put that glycine back, and not just for a potential longevity benefit. You need, for instance, about 10 grams of glycine per day for optimal collagen synthesis. However, you can only synthesize about 3 grams. The rest must come through diet. Drinking a couple cups of bone broth per day will get you there. And glycine isn't the only beneficial amino acid in bone broth. Bone broth is also rich in proline and hydroxyproline, both important inputs to collagen formation in your body. The bottom line, bone broth is rich in beneficial amino acids like glycine that are scarce in the modern diet. Sample bone broth meal plan. Here's a sample bone broth diet plan for you for your 5 feeding days and 2 fasting days. Note these menus are both keto and paleo friendly. Sample feeding day, 5 days per week. For breakfast, 3 egg a 3 egg omelet with full fat, cheddar cheese, spinach, and side of pasture raised bacon. Ooh, wee, that sound good right now, y'all. For lunch, fresh kale salad with olive oil, vinegar, almonds, and 6 ounces of wild caught salmon on top. So you have to adjust this for bariatric patients. Um, we're not really supposed to eat leafy foods because they can get stuck. Okay, so, and for snack, 1 cup of bone broth. For dinner, 6 ounces of grass-fed steak, 1 avocado, 1 cup of cooked shirataki noodles with olive oil. We wouldn't eat the noodles. With olive oil and herb dressing, roasted asparagus, and steamed broccoli. Sample fasting day, 2 days per week. For breakfast, 1 cup of bone broth. For lunch, 1 cup of bone broth. For snack, 1 cup of bone broth. For dinner, 1 cup of bone broth. Best sources of bone broth. If you have time, you can make bone broth at home. Simply gather a mess of beef or chicken bones. A chicken carcass works well. Add water and a teaspoon of vinegar and let the pot simmer for 20 to 36 hours. And presto, your very own bone broth. But maybe your schedule doesn't have room for extended simmering. After all, making bone broth requires considerable time and effort. Not to worry, because you can buy high quality bone broth at the store or online. Kettle and Fire is a good option. This company simmers bones from organic chickens and grass-fed cows for over 20 hours. It's the real deal. And I saw that for sale actually at Walmart. Walmart and Sprouts, I think, and of course on Amazon. Can the bone broth diet be keto? On a bone broth fast, you're supposed to eat paleo on feeding days. You might be wondering, can I eat keto instead? Yes. A bone broth fast is perfectly compatible with a whole foods ketogenic diet. Just make sure you're eating about 60% fat, 30% protein, and 10% carbs on feeding days, with plenty of non-starchy veggies. The bone broth days stay the same, just broth. Okay, I gotta use the bathroom, y'all. So I'll take a moment, you guys. Think about your questions, think about your comments. If you have information that you want to share, feel free to share that. If you have anything you want to share about your journey post op, or you have pre op questions, I'm not an expert. I can only tell you what I have experienced, okay? All right. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and set up notifications so you don't miss any of my lives, okay? Um, One moment, please. Take a break, go to the bathroom, get yourself some bone broth or something, okay? And then, hey, I'll let this music play. Where did it go? It turned off. Okay, hold on. I'm rocking and shaking because I gotta pee. No, not that one. Oh, my battery is low. How did I get signed out of the? Oh, here we go. Uh, Enjoy. Let me heat up my bone broth. Okay, I'm back. You just now joining me. I'm Roz, and the topic for today is I'm talking about sugar detox and the 21-day bone broth or bone broth diet, reset, detox, whatever you want to call it, y'all. I'm trying to lose weight. Okay. Let's get back to the reading. Oh, my phone is about to die. Oh, I'm so glad the cord is here. What? One second. I think I like the idea of the 5 to 2, meaning 2 days chicken broth only, 5 days keto diet. Now that seemed like something that kind of seems like something that you can do long term, actually. What y'all think? Wait, is my phone not charging now? These darn cords and stuff seem like they work when they want to. Is this unplugged or something? Nope, it's plugged in. No, come on. There's always something with these darn cords. just had to replace my laptop charger cord. Yeah, it's not working with this cord. One second. So I let the phone die. Don't it? No, I don't have that cord. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. It is not charging at all. And I can't use my laptop. Let's turn it this way. One second, y'all. Because if my phone dies, then I won't have anything to read from. 1 second. I should be in bed because I got to get up super early tomorrow. Just sitting around. I'm telling you that now I'm looking for it. You can't find it. It's crazy. What is this? Well, let's see if any one of these work. One moment here. Let's switch to another cord. This phone case, that won't fit in there. Okay. This is a cord I just found. This cord might not be a working cord. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay. I think that might be working. Is it something moved? Does that mean it's working? All right. All of that. I need to sip on some broth right now. Now that's good. Like I said, I only have one left, and I really need to be drinking at least two and a half of those so I can get 500 calories. So I finished one, and I didn't get a chance to go to a store. So the one that I'm boiling, which is not quite ready, I added it to the little bit that I had left, along with some chicken broth, a small amount that I had, a different brand. So tasting good. And I will share the recipe. Was I reading? Hmm. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we were on the keto part. Yes, a bone broth fast is perfectly compatible with a whole foods ketogenic diet. Just make sure you're eating about 60% fat, 30% protein, and 10% carbs on feeding days, with plenty of non starchy vegetables. The broth days stay the same, just broth. The truth is, paleo and keto diets aren't so different. The paleo diet allows more carbs and sometimes disallows dairy, but both diets prohibit the processed junk that plagues the standard American diet. Also, both diets are keen on bone broth. To be clear, bone broth fasting isn't specifically supported by published evidence. It does, however, combine intermittent fasting and collagen, both of which have been researched for their health benefits. If you give the bone broth diet a try, please share your experience in the comments. Thanks for reading. Okay. This was written by Brian Stanton. He's the author of Keto Intermittent Fasting, a certified health coach, and a health writer with over 150 articles and publications, including Observer, Paleo Magazine, and the peer reviewed scientific journal Teaching Education. He is the founder of endingibs.com website devoted to helping people overcome chronic gut issues. Learn more about Brian at brianjstanton.com or email him at brian@brianjstanton.com. Okay. Hmm. So that means I need to learn a little bit about the keto diet. So it's what the keto. Wait, okay. 5 to 2 keto bone broth intermittent fasting. Says you can follow the 16-8 method where you consume bone broth during the fasting window and regular meals during the feeding window. The 5-2 intermittent fasting method also applies where you have bone broth instead of your regular meals for 2 days a week and regular meals for the remaining days. Can you have, yes, it has virtually zero carbs and few calories. So you can indulge in bone broth even while you are on the ketogenic diet or fasting. Keto bone broth guide, what it is, diet and recipes. So this is from ruled.me. You do your research, I'm going to do mine, okay? So I will Lord willing, do a follow-up to let you know how it's going and how much weight I've lost. So today is Tuesday, so let's try to meet up this next Tuesday. Okay? Like I say, Lord willing. I haven't even looked at my calendar to see do I have an appointment, but look for me to follow up and let you know how it's going, okay? And how I'm feeling in my weight loss. Um so set up your notifications, subscribe so you don't miss out when I do go live and give you guys the details. Now this is the recipe I am using. Where is it? Aha, it's right here. It is called, I got it on Google, ketofocus.com. And it had 5 stars. And it's like 5 stars, that's all I need to know. So it's a simple recipe that delivers much needed vitamins and minerals to your diet. Your immune system will thank you for this nutrient rich liquid gold. Bone broth's value extends beyond the kitchen, boosting the health of your hair, skin, nails, other vital collagen requiring parts of the body. How to make chicken bone broth. Bone broth is one of the most nutritious foods. It is filled with collagen, amino acids, gelatin, and minerals. It has been used for centuries in cooking and for health benefits. Homemade bone broth is made by simmering bones and connective tissues in water. Oftentimes, vegetables and aromatic herbs are added to provide flavor. Chicken bone broth is made by cooking chicken bones in water. The difference between chicken bone broth and chicken stock, aka chicken broth, is the length of time it is simmered. Bone broth is cooked for longer to allow for the more nutrients and minerals to leach from the bones. The longer it cooks, the more nutrient dense the bone broth is. Ideally, you want a bone broth that is gelatinous when cold. This is a good sign that your broth is loaded with joint healthy collagen and minerals. Ooh, okay. I get to use my new charger plug because it's saying, keep, I don't think you're ready for that jelly, that collagen jelly. Or are you? I wrote tear at right here. Ooh, they make it seem like it's so easy. Oh, there we go. Let's see, I just bought this new charger yesterday on Amazon. And let's see if it is compatible. Otherwise, I have to send it back. Let me beat the cord, beat the battery. All these interruptions, y'all. We shall see. We shall see. I'm like panicking, like, oh, is my computer going to shut off in the middle of my video? Okay, here we go. Unplug it there. And let's plug this in. Ah, there it goes. And we are charging. Yes, indeed. All right. Let me take another sip. The difference between chicken bone broth and chicken stock is the length of time it is simmered. Bone broth is cooked for longer to allow for more nutrients and minerals to leach from the bones. The longer it cooks, the more nutrient dense the bone broth is. Ideally, you want a bone broth that is gelatinous when cold. This is a good sign that your broth is loaded with joint healthy collagen and minerals. Chicken bone broth recipe video. There is a video. Go to ketofocus.com and check it out, okay? Because I'm not all fancy to where I know how to put the video up so you can. Anyway, subscribe to the Keto Focus YouTube channel. With hundreds of videos and millions of views, Keto Focus is one of the most popular keto channels on YouTube. I definitely will be subscribing. Chicken bone broth ingredients: 6 to 10 pounds chicken bones, necks, feet, wings, or legs. 2 onions, roughly chopped. 4 celery stalks, roughly chopped. 1 carrot, chopped. 1 leek, sliced. I didn't have a leek. 4 garlic cloves, smashed. I used minced garlic. 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds. I'm allergic. 1 tablespoon of coriander, seeds or powder. I ain't got it. Half a tablespoon of whole peppercorns. 3 bay leaves. Half a teaspoon of thyme. Half a teaspoon of sage. Half a teaspoon of rosemary. I use the Bell seasoning. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I use lemon juice. You just need the acid. And 4 teaspoons of salt. I use a bouillon cube. It's okay to substitute. Okay, get your ingredients. Add the ingredients to the bowl of slow cooker. I'm using a pot, y'all. Ugh, those are chicken leg feet. Oh my God. Ugh, that looks so nasty. I was wondering what that was. Add the ingredients. Cover it. I don't want to see that. To the bowl of slow cooker and fill with water. Step 2, cook it. Cover with the lid and cook on low for at least 24 hours. You can let it cook for 2 to 3 days. Please watch the water level. You may need to add more water as it cooks to account for evaporation. Step 3, after 2 to 3 days, remove it from heat and strain out vegetables and bones using a strainer. Pour it into mason jars for storage. It is safe to freeze. And that's it, y'all. Chicken bone broth is often called liquid gold because it is golden in color when extracted and is loaded with lots of nutrients. Consuming bone broth regular has been thought to help with the following: heal the gut, protect the joints, firms the skin and strengthens hair, strengthen the immune system. The cheapest way to make chicken broth is to save your leftover chicken or turkey carcass for making bone broth. A great way is to use the carcass of a rotisserie chicken you can get in many grocery stores and Costco. Really, any leftover bones will be fine. Just make sure you did not chew the meat off with your teeth because you don't want to get any bacteria from your mouth into the bone broth. Add the whole carcass into the pot and add vegetables and water. Somebody can't spell. To get the most gelatinous broth, I recommend using chicken feet. I like to use a combination of chicken necks and chicken feet in my bone broth. I get my chicken necks and chicken feet from U.S. Wellness Meats. Funny how that all rhyme, huh? These come from organic pasture-raised chickens. Other chicken parts you can use include chicken backs, wings, and drumsticks. If you have a chicken carcass or access to chicken bones but no time to make chicken broth, just freeze the chicken parts in a freezer safe bag until you are ready to make bone broth. Add them frozen to your pot when ready to cook. If organic chicken bone broth is important, look for chicken bones that carry the organic chicken label. What do I add to chicken bone broth? Vegetables and seasonings. Vegetables and herbs are added to the bone broth to provide flavor. I like using a combination of onion, celery, carrot, leek, and garlic. You can omit the vegetables if you are on the carnivore diet and looking for pure animal based bone broth. You can add any combination of seasoning. I found my favorites to be peppercorns, thyme, coriander, sage, rosemary, and fennel. The apple cider vinegar is added to help leach out the minerals from the chicken bones. It helps to soften the bones as they simmer. Slow cooker chicken broth versus stove top versus instant. There's a difference. Bone broth can be made on the stove top, in a slow cooker, and in a pressure cooker. Slow cooker bone broth. My favorite way to make bone broth is in the slow cooker, aka crock pot. I like that I can plug it in and leave it all day and overnight and not have to watch it or worry that my house will burn down. Slow cooking it allows it to cook long enough to leach out the most nutrition. Instant pot bone broth. Some people prefer to use an instant pot to make bone broth. The benefit of using a pressure cooker to make bone broth is that it cooks the broth in a fraction of the time. However, I found that my broth is not as gelatinous and I worry that my broth is not getting the most nutrients pulled from the bones compared to using a slow cooker. I store my bone broth in 16-ounce mason jars. They can be kept in the refrigerator for up to 5 days or stored in the freezer for 6 months. If storing the bone broth in the freezer, make sure you don't fill your mason jar to the top. Leave room for expansion or else your jar can shatter in the freezer. All the nutritional benefits of chicken broth are explained above. However, bone broth has many culinary uses. I love to incorporate it in my everyday cooking so I can sneak in healthy nutrition into my family's diet. I often use chicken bone broth in place of water in savory recipes. I use it to make gravy and thin out scrambled eggs or use it as the base for chicken soup. And of course, gumbo and well, and dressing, but you know what? That's cool. Anyway, so I think I read enough, y'all. I'm sure you get the picture now. Oh, I'm tired of sitting here, my legs and everything is complaining. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Um, it's two. It's been 2 hours, 9 minutes, 47 seconds. So I think that we got enough information to get us started. Here's to your health. Talk to you later with an talk to you later with an update, okay, on my progress. I wonder will I look different when you see me? Will I look like thinner? Well, I lost 3 pounds, so I'm already feeling good about it. Okay. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. All right. Bye bye.